Hey, do you hate reading? Do you just want to jump out of your skin when it's time to sit down and read the next page assignments in whatever book your English teacher is asking you to read next? Well, I have a client who told me that she had all of those issues. This is an 8th grader moving on into becoming a 9th grader, and she was reading her summer reading, and she has ADHD, and she was just like, I don't want to sit and read. I can tell the book is a good book, but I can't read. So I went to my Facebook group. I have a group for my anti-boring approach to powerful studying for educators. And I asked everybody, what do you suggest to a student who has ADHD and just doesn't feel like she can sit still long enough to read? And one of the biggest recommendations was the yoga ball. So I suggest, actually, I don't think this is a yoga ball, but whatever, the exercise ball. And so I suggested it to this young woman, and she immediately went downstairs because they had one in her family's basement or something. And then I checked in with her a month later and I said, how's the reading going? And she said, it's so much better. And I asked her how she used the yoga ball, and she had 6 or more ways. Oh, let me move over a second here so I can read these to you. So I want to share them with you, and I want to challenge you. How many other ways can you find to use one of these yoga balls or exercise balls or other forms of movement to keep your body engaged while you're also trying to read? So one thing she said was she just sat on a chair, like I'm sitting on a chair right now, and she would use her feet to kick the ball against a wall. It would bounce back. She would kick it again. So that's one thing. She also said she would sit on the ball and bounce, right? That's actually probably the most typical thing. You can just sit here and bounce and read your book. I think some people, it might be hard to actually see the letters, the words while you're bouncing, but other people, especially people who need to have their body moving in order to be able to focus, might really benefit from that. The other thing that she did, I'm not going to show you this because I'd go out of the camera, but she just lay on her back. So she's upside down, right? So she's laying on her back and then reading upside down. Actually, we'll jump to this one, number 5. She also would turn over and lay on her stomach around the ball and put the book on the floor and read that way. And it wiggles a little and you have to kind of stay balanced. She also would stand with her book in one hand and bouncing the ball in her other hand. And then another thing she did was she would hold the ball between her feet, like she'd sit on the floor, sit on her bed or something, and hold the ball with her feet. And, maybe lift the ball up and down while she was reading. I'm sure there are a million other ways to use an exercise ball while you are reading, but she said that it is helping her focus so much more now. So I would love to hear if you have some additional ways to keep your own body moving. You can comment under here in YouTube or send me an email at gretchen@gretchenwegner.com. And if you want many more tips and tricks for studying and time managing as a student, you can check out my anti-boring approach to powerful studying, which is the online course for students, or you can check out the Art of Inspiring Students to Study Strategically, which is my course for educators. But regardless, I will see you next Wednesday here on YouTube. Bye, y'all.